Let's talk about big news in the NFL that took place overnight. The Detroit Lions continue to dig into this vault of money that they have found, investing in a team that has brought them more happiness than potentially any Detroit Lions team has in the past. Jared Goff has signed an extension with the Detroit Lions, $170 million guaranteed on a 4-year deal. Now, everybody remembers that when Jared Goff was traded away from the Los Angeles Rams to the Detroit Lions due to a vacation in Mexico in which Matty Stafford and Sean McVay and Andrew Whitworth and Jay Glazer and Drew Brees were all having the time of their lives and decided that they needed to work together. Jared Goff was kicked out of town. One of the big reasons why the Detroit Lions ended up with Jared Goff is because they were willing to take on the tab in which Jared Goff was being paid, which was like $30 million a year.
Yep.
Everybody in the NFL, a lot of fans are like, who's going to take a $30 million cap hit for Jared Goof? Nobody wants that guy. Now, here we are a few years later. The Detroit Lions are NFC favorites. And Jared Goff just signed for another $170 million. What a glorious tale.
Hell yeah.
What a Detroit glorious tale of two things coming together being perfect for each other, Evan Fox.
This was an absolute no-brainer, worth every single penny. First quarterback in my life for the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North and to win a playoff game, won multiple playoff games. And Pat, when we were at the draft, you made a really good point. Detroit doesn't have a chance, but they do now with Jared Goff. It literally is just his name, Jared Goff. Jared Goff. And they're not just doing that at Ford Field. They were doing that at Little Caesars Arena for Red Wings game. They were doing it at the draft. I love this. I'm so happy for this guy. And yeah, like now we're set. 4 years of Jared Goff, 4 years of having a Super Bowl window. It's awesome.
What's wrong, Connor? Why you?
No.
Connor's shaking his head, thumbs over his shoulder.
No. In a good way. Like the words that just came out of Foxy's mouth, if you were to tell me that that's how that it would turn out for Jared Goff after the Rams, I would have said you are the most insane person on the face of the planet. He just said, thank God for Jared Goff, and that was a dream. What'd you guys go his first year, 3-14?
Yes, we started out 0-10. Legitimately thought we were going to go 0-17 in Jared's first year. Another reason why I love him so much, because you just stuck it out, and now he's a fan favorite. Everyone loves him.
Holmes, MCDC, Jared Goff. That's Detroit Lions football, AJ. And the NFC North is going to continue to have the wagon moving through the Motor City.
I mean, look at the NFC North getting better and better. With Foxy and how juiced he is, I'm just wondering if this went another way. Let's say they try to lowball him. Let's say they didn't try to give him this gigantic contract, which I think he absolutely deserves. Would you be up in arms going crazy if they couldn't figure this out?
Yes, I would be, because this is one of my favorite part of what the brand new Lions are doing is they're doing everything correctly. They're treating everyone right. They gave St. Brown a deal. They gave Sewell a deal. They mended fences with Calvin Johnson. They have done everything right. The draft, an absolute success, and now you got to pay the guy that absolutely deserved it. Won you playoff game, won NFC North, one of the best quarterbacks that are successful seasons for a quarterback in Lions history at this point.
Well, hey, listen, we're celebrating. You don't have to do your backpedal there.
Yeah, I didn't. I love Matthew Stafford, so I didn't want it to make it sound like I already jumped ship from Stafford, because I love him. This doesn't happen without
he's
Matthew
won
Stafford.
way more than Stafford has.
Well, actually, I saw a bunch of stats with Warren Sharp put out, and it's like since trade, Stafford with LA and Goff with Detroit, there's a lot of statistics that you can find that are like, hey, he's the same exact guys. Like, this is the same exact situation that's taking place. And once again, back to your point, 3 years ago, this was not the story being told.
Oh, no.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, this was not how this was being talked about. And remember, MCDC was a big dumb dipshit.
He was.
Remember how stupid he was 4 years ago in everybody's eyes around the sports media? Obviously, now that you know our show, we were not on ESPN at the time. We were on the internet. We obviously loved MCDC. The press conference. If you haven't seen us react to it literally day of, it is exactly how you would think it would go with us, with him speaking the way he is. But they were mocked and ridiculed and buried. And not that the Detroit Lions weren't already underground from being buried by the rest of the NFL and the media for the last 30 years, but it was like, this is the dumbest they've ever been. And now they're their fans, look, they're looking forward to Thanksgiving games. Mm-hmm. They're looking forward to, primetime games every single week, seemingly. It's a brand new world up there, and that's power of the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, you love to see this. And it's not like, Jared Goff is this underdog story. Kind of seems that way, but he was the number 1 pick, went to Super Bowl, I think, on his rookie deal. But for what he's done, going to the Lions, everybody thought, hey, this is going to be a bridge guy, set up for their next quarterback. So for him to turn this franchise around, be a big part of turning this franchise around, then getting another big deal. I think he's only 29 too, which is kind of surprising. Seems like he's been in the league forever, but still, younger than 30, so you expect him to get another deal. And then it's kind of sets up for the other quarterbacks out there that's going to get paid, soon that you expect to get paid. Dak, Tua, Jordan Love, all these guys are definitely chomping at the bit. But love to see this for Jared Goff. Definitely deserves it. And his film for the last few years, I mean, it's been phenomenal.
That offense. And he's got his offense coordinator again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson's back.
Sticking around.
For another year. So
all the weapons.
They got all the trick plays. They're not scared to use them. They got the power running if you need it. They have all their weapons and added to it back. It's like the Detroit Lions are for real. And if you're in Green Bay,
you're not worried at all. But
True.
Sure, it's awesome that the Lions are for real, like it is. But again, I said it in Detroit. I'm not over here like, oh my God, the Lions are so good. Okay, they are good. That's great, and I'm happy for Foxy because they've been sucked for a long time.
A long
time.
You're very good.
I try. I'm not worried about it. They embarrassed the Packers at Lambeau early in the season, and then what did the Packers do? They embarrassed them on Thanksgiving Day. Beat the shit out of them. Beat the absolute shit out of them. So again, I'm not gonna be backtracking. The Lions have a couple Iowa guys who are also instrumental in them, turning things around. So I appreciate that. I love that. You mentioned guys getting paid. Guess who Jordan Love's agent is?
Who's that?
Mr. Mulugeta.
Oh my God!
Wow.
They're gonna have to give him a percentage of the town.
Jordan Love's gonna be the first quarterback to be making $125 million a season.
I think so.
And they're gonna guarantee him maybe $1 billion contract.
And
I'll pound the pavement for it.
If Mulugeta's, the one doing the negotiating, we just assume it's gonna be the highest the position's ever seen. He got $170 million guaranteed right there. That's $60 million less than Deshaun Watson.
That's right.
In guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Whoa.
$60 million less. That was literally my first thought as soon as I saw it. I'm an asshole for that.
A contract.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about all Jared Goff has done for Detroit.
Yeah.
All Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's changed everything. He's changed the whole world there. Everything's different now.
Hey, when we were at the draft, everyone was wearing Lions gear. Everyone had jerseys, merch, you name it. It wasn't always like that. It was actually frowned upon, and you were looked at kind of like a loser if you wore Lions gear. That's what Jared Goff has done for Detroit.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
They want the Jared.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.